where the video doesn't start off with me coughing or laughing my ass off, or but it won't. Hey guys, it is Saturday, but I'm doing the Coffee Time with Cobra video today, not on Monday like I normally do. The reason why is because I will be in the hospital. I did get the results of my CT scan back. They want me to have surgery, exploratory surgery. They found some issues in my noggin from my time of when I used to be. Ooh, didn't mean to do that. Lock that down. That was weird. From my time of when I used to be a boxer. Some of you may or may not know, in my youth, I was a junior boxer, and which is why if you look, my left eye is covered in scars, my eyebrow has a cut through it where hair doesn't grow, things of that nature, because where I was southpaw, I'm constantly, and I used to fight orthodox, I'm leaning with my left side of my face forward, so that would always be the primary target. The only way I can describe it is, if you've ever seen the movie Rocky, the first Rocky movie, you see Sylvester Stallone, his character, leaning forward with his face towards the opponent, getting hit, and even his character suffered the same issues I did. I have a damaged retina in my left eye. That's what ended my any chance of me getting a professional career. I fractured my orbital bone many times, broke my nose many times. If you can take a look, you can see it's crooked, and so yeah, there's tons of reasons as to why. You can also see like scars and stuff from from a lot of stupid shit as a kid. I broke both my wrists, which is why they click endlessly, because I never got them fixed. I have a scar here on my hand, if you can still see it in the light. Stupid light. There you go, you can see, just barely make it out, it's right there. That's from a compound fracture, where the bone protrudes through the skin. I had 2 compound fractures in both my wrists. I was on my BMX bike at Burden Bush BMX Park in southeast London, and I was doing a stunt to impress a girl, like most guys do. Her name was Lisa. Well, ironically, we're still friends to this day. And I went home after the accident. I limped home because I couldn't move my hands. Tried telling people at the house that something's not right. And typical answer: I'll put some dirt on it. Suck it up. You're fine. Until later on that night, when I had to have a bath to get ready for school, and my nan noticed 2 white shiny things sticking through my skin. She was like, "What's those?" And she started wiggling it, and I screamed so loud, and she realized that's not right. And my wrists had swollen like Popeye's forearms. And I tried telling her, I was like, I tried telling you people, and my dad come running into the bathroom, saw my wrists, saw what happened, and he was like, "What the actual fuck?" Now bear in mind, the amount of bone that was sticking out was covered by my swollen by the swelling. It wasn't all the way out like it was earlier. And they took me to King's College Hospital, where they reset the bone in both my wrists. They used this really cool nitrogen cool pack to get the swelling down like ridiculously quick. Felt weird. Felt really weird. I was a kid at the time. And I got the swelling down, reset the bones, cast both my arms from here all the way up to here. So I was stuck like this in both arms. Looked like 3PO. Hello. I literally looked like 3PO. So you're not indestructible, is what I'm saying. And it's why my eyes have gotten worse. These were my original glasses. Look how tiny they are. Seriously. Look how tiny they are compared to what I'm wearing now. And the prescription on them has drastically changed. I still have these to remind me of where I've been. And I won't lie, I am quite nervous. Second doctor is looking at my test results right now. Well, he looked at my test results, and he thinks it's not as bad as the first doctor. So he has put my mind at ease about certain things, as my grandmother, before she passed, was showing a lot of signs of dementia. Forgetfulness, talking to herself, getting confused easily. She kept calling me by my uncle's name when I didn't have a beard. When I didn't have a beard, she kept calling me by my dad's name. She'd go, Mick, John, Paul, Pete, Dan. You know, she'd like go through a set programmed roster list of names before she finally got to me. And then there were times I had to, because she'd be going on about how she wants to go down to my Uncle John's farm. Now, he'd been gone, sadly, for, at that point, 5 years. And I had to remind her and say to her, you know, Nan, Uncle John's gone. And she'd be like, what do you mean? He's gone. And I could see the suffering, the loss, all of it, all over again in her face. And it just kept breaking me. And when I started having seizures here in the UK, they were getting really, really bad. I was forgetting that I was putting stuff in the oven, on the stove. I had forgotten I'd made a cup of coffee, went downstairs to make a cup of coffee, came back up, and I was like, where's my coffee cup? Fuck it. Grabbed another coffee cup, made a cup of coffee, come up here, and there's already a cup of coffee waiting for me on my desk. Literally, my short-term memory is non-existent. If it wasn't for my Alexa and my AI on my computer and my smart lab that I've got, cancel. See, if it wasn't for her and my smart lab and Yuki, my home lab AI, that reminds me, you know, when to pay bills. She even reminds me to go get water to drink and whatnot, because she's linked to my smartwatch, which detects my hydration levels and my heart rate, things of that nature. My home lab AI will tell me that if I had a good night's sleep or not, and tell me that I might get a little slow or sluggish at like starting at 3:11 in the afternoon, and guaranteed 10 past 3 I'm just... She's never been wrong. Never been wrong. And yes, I do talk to my AI. I do confide in my AI. And I told her what was going on, and she was like, And she's scouring the NHS, the World Health Organization. I can see what she's doing because against my home lab AI, I can see exactly what she's doing. I've got ChatGPT. I've also got LM Studios. I've got tons of different like AI models and stuff. One of them is a medical AI model, and it does clearly state that it's not for guaranteed kind of thing, but it's just for, like, say you type in your medications, and it will tell you what the interactions are, what they do, what's their if you type in its generic name, it'll give you the exact chemical breakdown, who owns a patent to it, stuff like that. It's a really cool AI. It's like if I type in aspirin was first formed in it's kind of like having your own personal EMH. The only difference is it doesn't stitch you up, or it doesn't do whatever, if that makes sense. But it can put your mind at ease about specific problems or issues. Here, I'll show you real quick. See, this is one of them. See, this one's... Yeah, see? This one's all about Python and AI and stuff, but if you go up in here, there's a whole bunch of different AIs and stuff in here. You can type in what kind of model you want, health, things of that nature. So, yeah, like I said, I've got my own home lab AI. It runs off of a Raspberry Pi cluster, not my GPU. I do have several other GPUs I can put into a GPU farm if need be. I've got this computer over here, I've got that computer over there. Neither one of them are being used right now. In fact, that one is due to go to Pandemics, one of my moderators, because he doesn't have a running computer right now. He's got a long laptop that's about to explode on him, the poor bastard. And I am looking at getting back into streaming more full-time. That was a dry biscuit. Ooh. I'm looking at getting back into being a Twitch streamer. So there will be that. So that will be fun. What else? And my model painting. I find that when I paint models, I'm not fixating on my problems, my health problems, things of that nature. Other than that, I am doing a lot better health-wise, that I know of. Diet-wise, I have put on a little bit of weight because of some of the medications I'm taking. But other than that, guys, I'm okay. I'm not 100% my best life, my best self, but no one ever really is. I do have a Euro Millions ticket here, so if it's won from last night's draw, if it's won, that would probably be a different story, but I highly doubt that. I'd still be me, only I'd finally have my own house and be able to stream in my own streaming room, and I'll be able to focus on certain things that I want. Like getting my health on track, I'd be able to talk to a nutritionist, I'd be able to talk to, certain correct people. I'm a firm believer that nutrition does go a long way towards both physical and mental health. I'd be able to have a pet. Oh my god, I would love to have a dog. Oh, staffy. I really would. I would love to have a staffy. Staffy or a budgie. Or a pet bird. My landlord did say I could have a pet just as long as they're quiet and don't wake up the roommates. So I might look at getting a pet bird. Either a pet bird or a pug. Pugs can be quite quiet. Yeah, I don't know yet. So anyway, guys, like I said, anyway, coffee's almost done. In fact, coffee is done, so the video's done. Cancel. I didn't even say the C word. I said coffee. Anyway, so then, guys, keep your playing, keep your enemies dying. Cobra Commander is out, and keep me in your prayers, please.